you can do about it. Hurt me while I burn it.
You're listening to That's Pretty Dark,
the podcast where we talk about all the entertainment that scared us as children
and still haunts us as adults. So grab your flashlight and join us as we take a frightfully nostalgic look over our shoulders
and under our beds
and in our closets.
And together we'll realize, whoa, that's pretty dark.
I just hit the play button on my keyboard and I almost went deaf because the worthless music video on YouTube just went blasting into my ears.
Oh my God.
I had to
but you acted like you didn't know what it was. You were looking at me like, I'm going deaf. And I'm like, well, number one, I can't help you. I can't help you at all. Number two, you should know what's playing in your headphones.
Yeah, I mean, it was just mostly jarring and very... It's very startling because I didn't expect it.
I can't do anything from here.
I've been doing that all day because I have multiple YouTube tabs pulled up for various things, and one of them is worthless. And then also I've been listening to Spotify as I'm working, and I thought I was turning Spotify back on, but no, I just cranked that worthless shit and almost went deaf. I can't even find the tab right now. I'm on the verge of panic.
It's still happening?
Is it? No, I turned it off,
God,
but I can't find there it is. Okay, I almost went deaf again. I hope you heard that. I hope you heard that in the mic. Yeah, that was fun. All right, we're good.
What a way to kick it off.
What a way to start.
We're talking about a song. It's our first episode about a song in 4 years, probably. I've been sneezing and coughing. I'm not sick, but my eyes are watering, so you can hear it in my voice, you know?
It is most certainly the first song that we've covered, which I'm going to say this again, since Hexus and his Toxic Love. Yeah, I got to go find my spooky 80s mix. There we go. Susie and the Banshees, thank you very, very much. Yes,
and
we're all about the music this evening.
Just make sure it's at an appropriate volume.
It is, yes. Okay. I'm going to have to just double check.
Great. Good.
Quadruple check your volume out there, ladies and gentlemen.
And your tabs, because you never know what might be open.
You never know what might be open at the worst time.
Luckily, right now, your tab is open to That's Pretty Dark, where my name is Kaylin.
Hell yeah, that was good. My name is Christian. I have some good news and bad news. The good news is that I found Jason's leg, the Red Power Ranger. I found his leg.
It was missing for our photo shoot.
He's complete.
So. Great.
The only problem is it's still broken. I can't fix it. I can't put it back on. No. Well, I bet I could glue it.
But it would be
one of those situations where
into position.
Yeah.
And he's an action figure, a posable one.
And I can't ask him which he'd prefer because he's made of plastic. So I don't want to make that choice for him. So his leg's just laying.
I highly doubt he's consented to anything that's been done to him in his life or yours. So
that's true. I
guess there's no time like the present to do better.
Don't make me feel bad about it. You know, I didn't know. I was a kid. I was a child. I didn't break his leg. It was another child who did that. I won't name any names.
I was about to say, don't act like you don't still know who did it. Don't act like you haven't been holding a grudge for 25 years. I think
it was either my niece or nephew, so I can't really blame them too much. That was the good news. The bad news is that the chimney swifts are back.
To your house?
Mm-hmm. They're in the chimney.
Different ones?
Different ones. Yeah, the ones last year all died. So
okay.
These are new ones, but they're back because I couldn't get the chimney fixed because nobody wants to haul out the 600-pound steel stove that's in place currently.
I mean,
and I don't blame them.
I wouldn't at all.
I definitely can't do it by myself, so I haven't even tried. I have children.
You're always dealing with something.
I don't want to break my feet. There. Yes, there's always so much going on. And it keeps me on my toes, much like this episode. Just segueing back.
Yeah, are you going to tell the story?
Eventually, I think I'll get there.
I'm going to keep coughing.
It's been one of those days where I sat down this morning, ready to go. Then it took me the rest of the day to get this ready and finished up.
Y'all, he texted me and told me that he was working on it at like 9:30, whatever time that was, 10 this morning. I'll be ready. No problem.
I'll be ready.
And then the time to be ready rolls around. I'm home from work. I'm ready to go. wherefore art thou, Christian? Not ready.
It happens. Like we said, tonight we are doing sort of the inverse of our Toxic Love Fern Gully coverage, where we broke down the song from the movie, and then later we came back and did the movie itself. This time, we intentionally left a little something to be desired with our coverage of The Brave Little Toaster. When it came right on down to...
Because that was such a great series for us.
Well, it was.
In part because it was very popular. People appreciate that film. We've been recently talking a lot about it with Christine Schaefer, and That's Why We Drink. But then realizing also that, like, neither of us ever really intend to go back to the film again. So we had to leave something fun. Fun is relative around here. Fun is definitely relative. But we had to leave something. Because we don't anticipate really looking too closely at that film ever again.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the main reason was because it was already 2.5 hours long. And this, as you can see by the length of this episode, would have pushed this movie night into a 3-hour 3.5 hour episode, because this one's going to be a full episode.
And more behind the scenes. He told me it was 6 pages and it has grown to nearly 10, you said? Just today?
No, it was 6 pages and now it is almost 10 pages.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah.
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay, wow.
But that's okay. You can
wait,
correct
let me
me
turn
anyway.
my ears back on so I can actually... Woo,
maybe
buddy,
you did
it's
go
not
down.
late.
Maybe
It's not
did.
late. I'm awake. I'm fully awake and ready to go. We are covering the Worthless song from Brave Little Toaster. I do my best to not feel worthless this evening. This song comes toward the end of the film in the junkyard, where all the cute little talking appliances are about to die. Let's not mince words here.
They're going down.
This climactic moment is the blueprint for the Toy Story 3 incinerator scene.
Yeah.
I think we probably...
I've thought that many a time. I thought that in the theater watching Toy Story 3. Vividly remember sitting there thinking, wait a second, I've seen this before.
Just like watching Avatar, you were like, this is Fern Gully. Wow.
I've seen it. I think I've seen this film before.
And the main reason, other than the length of time it would have taken us, the main reason we didn't break down this song at the time is because once I started looking at the lyrics, I realized Worthless was worthy of its own episode. Because the words aren't just pretty dark, they cut deep. And the further I read into them, the deeper they sunk into my soul. So we're going to break down the lyrics sung by each vehicle and take a closer look at their life stories and the heavy truths of how and why they ended up in this horrible place at the end of their lives.
If I'm honest, you had talked about separating this out. We talked about it at the time we did the series. It's been years at this point, I guess.
It's been 3 years exactly.
3 years.
Because
wow, okay.
Brave Little Toaster Part 2 came out on June 3rd of 23.
Luke and Lorelai forever. I feel like I remember like being glad that we put it aside because we just couldn't get into it at the time. But ever since then, I've sort of been dreading it. Because of just, again, the weight of that film, how heavy it felt at the time, how heavy it feels. But I will say, going back and listening to the song today, I mean, very heavy, obviously, very emotionally charged, we'll say. A lot of existentialism happening. But, I mean, I've said it before on the podcast. I love a saxophone. I love a good pop jam. I love an 80s influence.
Don't do this to me.
I have to. And so when I heard it today, I was kind of like jamming out. I was like, you know what? If you just don't think too hard about it, which is, I guess, maybe what they intended all along, this is kind of a bop. I didn't hate it.
It kind of is. Yeah.
And I was pleased, honestly, because I was dreading it. And then I listened and I was like, I mean, we're going to talk about it. It's going to be heavy, but like, it's got a saxophone. How bad can it be? How bad can I feel about it? I guess is really what I mean. If it evokes something, if it evokes any degree of Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News to my heart, I'll be okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
we'll be all right, Darklings.
A lot of 80s reference in this musical number, for sure. It feels very 80s to me, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, like we're saying, a lot of existentialism, a lot of heavy themes. I want to give a fair warning to all. This song is chock full of allusion to depression, aging, and death, including fatal car accidents and suicide.
Yeah. Big trigger warning. And also, we're here to hold your hands and your ears.
Yeah.
So
we'll hold your ears in our hands.
We're here for you.
So yeah, you're going to want to buckle up for this one.
Oh God.
Pun intended, because
Yeah, you
at its
wrote it
core,
down.
Worthless is a song about how death is inevitable. It doesn't matter who you are or what kind of life you live. One day, you're going to die.
Memento mori.
So that's fun.
That's fun. Dead
That's
air.
fun.
Dead silence.
Just a moment of silence for your retrospection, your introspection.
Collective introspection on that fact.
Pondering your own.
Y'all know we're not shy
demise.
about it. We both have our fair share of mental health struggles. I have had anxiety since I can remember. I am diagnosed with CPTSD. I have all kinds of stuff going on in my
Same.
head. ADHD, depression related to that ADHD. We're no stranger to it, but I do think, again, there's safety in numbers. There's power in thinking about it, talking about it, vocalizing it, which is something I didn't do for a lot of my life.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I think we're not alone. That's the whole point. There's so many more of us than we want to think that there are when we're at our worst,
Exactly. Yep.
So
the whole
that's why we
point
do
of
it.
our show. That's what we do.
That's why we do it.
That's why we show up to the mic.
Bringing you the same drive time hits, the same drive time hour.
If only.
And now for a saxophone break.
I love how you're talking about all that while I have Dance Magic Dance in my ears.
Fantastic.
My 80s mix right now. My
really good
David Bowie going on.
That'll cure my depression.
Talk about a bop. So like the other original vocal tracks in The Brave Little Toaster, Worthless was written and composed by Van Dyke Parks. And it was performed by singers Beth Anderson, Janice Liebert, Daryl Finnessy, and Kevin Shields. And the additional chorus names in the movie credits include Pat Erickson, Gary Falcone, Roger Freeland, and Joe Pizzullo. And I also want to give credit to the sound design team for bringing the realism to this dystopian nightmare. They went all out for this movie in general. I'm sure we talked about it. They scoured antique and junk shops around LA to give weight to the appliances. But I have no idea how they captured the industrial machinery, crushing metal, hydraulic presses.
Very impressive Foley work.
All of this adding to the cold terror surrounding this impending doom. It reminds me so much of the video game Limbo by Playdead. I think I've probably talked about it before. That world also has a very hyper-industrial post-apocalyptic vibe with like giant magnets and 100 different ways to be pierced and crushed. But yeah, you mentioned the Foley. The names I could find mentioned the Foley artists Mary Louise Rogers and Michael Anthony Salvetta. There's also the special sound designers Bob Walter, Rick Johnston, Jim Seifert, Aisley Otten, and then there's the supervising sound editor, Donald Ernst, who may very well have been responsible for mixing the rhythmic industrial sound effects into the Worthless music, making it this like seamless transition into what really is a music video, essentially.
Right. Yeah. Lots of those sounds become the percussion, become the beat, become the driving force of the song.
That's right.
And talk about people like artists who don't get their flowers, like that don't get their shout outs that really truly deserve it, because there are few departments that have as much impact on you emotionally when you're talking about seeing a film as the sound team, sound design, Foley, all of that, because that's really what you feel,
It's true.
It's what you feel in your body. That's what you feel in a visceral way. That's the one sense that it's like, I don't know, it's just closer than the others in terms of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
Oh, yeah. Sound can make or break your film for sure. But to paint the scene here, Toaster and the other appliances find themselves dumped in a junkyard where there's a giant magnet floating around like an angel of death, picking up metal objects to drop onto the massive conveyor belt that leads to the Crusher, which is a giant face with teeth.
Chomp, chomp.
And this is when all the junkyard cars begin singing their life stories before death can take them.
I really hope when life flashes before my eyes that it's not this dark.
I was going to say, it's kind of a life flashing before your eyes kind of thing. So make no mistake here, guys. The junkyard is meant to represent many different aspects of the end of human life. From nursing homes, hospitals, and hospices to morgues, crematoriums, and graveyards.
I thought about nursing homes more than once watching it back. I'm sure we'll have more to say.
So when I told Mason, our editor, we were covering this song, he said that he wanted to know if there was any special significance to all the locations mentioned.
Tons
in
of
this.
place names
There's
in
so
different
many.
contexts, because some of them sound like, from the down in Louisiana across the New Orleans. It's like that. It's that kind of vibe. But then
Has
there's
that vibe.
there's also specific people and place names that they're talking about.
And so some of them do hold significance, not all of them. But to grease our wheels a little bit, I thought I'd begin with the first location that is mentioned. And this is none other than Missouri, which is important because Missouri is the home state of Walt Disney. His family moved around to a few different places, including Kansas City, which is also mentioned in the song. And this is where he began his animation career.
I've written a paper or two about Walt Disney in my time. Bet that shocks no one.
So you knew.
Probably shocks everyone just as much as the fact that I've accidentally already added 2 Back to the Future references to this episode. Let's see.
The Disney Company page on Britannica.com says,
Walt Disney began his career in animation with the Kansas City Film Ad Company in Missouri in 1920. In 1922, Disney and his friend UB Iwerks, a gifted animator, founded the Laugh-O-Gram Film Studio in Kansas City and began producing a series of cartoons based on fables and fairy tales. As I told my college public speaking class.
I can't tell you anything that you don't already know about Walt Disney.
Man, you can definitely tell me stuff I've forgotten, though. So there's that.
Well, within this worthless music video, there are 8 different vehicles who sing throughout the sequence. To quote TV tropes, each of the vehicles are past their prime and no longer have a place in society, which is one of the main themes of the entire movie, due to being inspired by the Grimm fairy tale, The Bremen Town Musicians, which we got all up in that when we covered the film.
Yeah.
And I did a Patreon bonus episode reading that, and I did all the voices of all the animals.
I forgot completely.
It's terrible. It's horrible. If you just want to make fun of me, it's $5 a month.
Patreon.com/TPD podcast.
You can just go hate listen to me.
Scroll back
do
3
my
years.
damnedest to sound like a chicken and a donkey. A dog, an old tired old dog, which I am that, so that wasn't hard to do.
Yeah, you didn't have to put on a voice for that one.
In order of appearance, we have the blue sedan, the pink convertible, the red sports car / Corvette, an old race car, the Texan limousine, the hearse, the station wagon, and the green pickup truck.
There were a lot of these guys.
Which is surprising. You think they could have done like 2 or 3 and gotten the same message across, but they really had a mission to accomplish here. They were like, they
leaned in. They did 2 or 3 and they were like, no, that's not enough.
More dead cars, more death.
More death, please.
More crushing destruction. Please, thank you.
Squish. Worthless.
The lyrics sung by the first 2, while not surface level by any means, are a bit more obvious and easier to analyze than the others. They sort of ease you in. And I think that's when they were like, more depth, more destruction,
can dig deeper.
More pain, more anguish. We need these to feel like real people that are dying. Yeah. How else will the children understand? It's poor kids.
Not that they'll understand half of the details of any of these cars' lives anyway.
None of it makes any sense. They were intentionally vague.
Yeah, I had no clue. I will say, like, watching it back, remembering, again, we talked about all of this in Brave Little Toaster, but like I love music. I love music in movies. I love soundtracks. I love Broadway. Like, lyrics are my thing. I cannot sing word for word any of the songs from Brave Little Toaster, despite watching the film over and over and over. And I don't know what that says. It's something. It says something about the film. Maybe it says something about me. Maybe. Almost definitely. But the combo is strange. It doesn't happen often that I just don't internalize lyrics. But I couldn't even begin to sing this song.
Yeah,
and that's rare.
We should definitely try to get Van Dyke Parks if he's still alive and figure out.
That'd be amazing.
What the hell he was thinking.
Yeah, I was singing Beauty and the Beast, Tale is whatever, songs from Beauty and the Beast when I was 2. Like, I didn't, this one didn't click.
The song begins with the blue sedan, who represents the aging blue-collar worker. who is exhausted and depressed, aka Blue.
And this came out in
Blue.
Blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. This came out in 1987. And
somewhere about there, yeah.
And roughly nothing has changed.
Yeah, not much. Not much.
If anything, yeah, people are poorer, inflation is higher, and ain't nothing
it's
getting
worse
any better.
probably than it was then. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
He says, I can't take this kind of pressure. I must confess, one more dusty road would be just a road too long. Basically what he's saying is he can't handle the obligations and stressors of life anymore. And who of us can?
Oh, God. I had that thought yesterday.
He's got a dead-end job. He doesn't make enough money. He has mundane routines. Mm-hmm. And because of this, he's depressed. And like you're saying, it's worse now than it was almost 40 years ago. Crushing pressure. So he just can't carry on any longer. Therefore, based on what he's saying, he is welcoming death. Mm-hmm. One more road would be a road too long. TV tropes suggest that this car is passively committing suicide by Junkyard Crusher. By simply letting it happen.
Just accepting it.
Yeah, by not making any efforts to escape. He's willfully standing in harm's way so that it can't be avoided. Although, we have reason to believe, we're going to find out toward the end, that he can't drive. Like it looks like he probably could, or he could do something, but he can't.
Yeah, he can't.
He can't.
And yeah, I'm weighing my comments in my head right now, deciding like what would be most and least concerning. But all I'm going to say is that I can relate through various points in my life and time. You know, like if something is headed for me, hard to step real far out of the way. You know,
when the trains are coming, when it's like, around the mountain. I could just stand here.
What if I just didn't? I wouldn't be doing anything. That's the thing. I'm not doing it to myself. I'm just not moving.
God would know.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Jesus would be disappointed.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Can't even get out of it that way.
Well, I'm kind of glad you said that.
I'm okay now, by the way. I'm fine, Darklings. I'm fine.
Doing better. I never wanted to die. I just... When I was
sometimes
at my
don't want to
worst,
live.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore, right? Which is where this guy's at. And I'm glad that you mentioned that and brought that up, because a lot of this symbolism here, it's just mental illness. Yeah. It is his depression, but it's more than that. This is an existential crisis he's having.
It is. It's like he's a cog in the machine, and he's tired of being a cog in the machine.
He's been put in his place, and he feels like he can't do anything else, right?
He can't move. That's kind of representative, honestly. The idea of like, I might as well accept this because I've been on the conveyor belt the whole time anyway.
He was told long ago he's
I've been on this conveyor belt forever.
Right, exactly. He's always been on that conveyor belt. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say it's his fault. I'm saying he was put there at a young age.
There already.
And he was told that he will never be able to get off no matter what he does. And so he's stuck.
And that's a story that I see in people that I know, in communities that I know of. Like that happens consistently, where it's like you've been pigeonholed into this life. Yes. You can't make enough money to make more money. You can't, you know what I mean?
Right,
it's like
you can't pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It's not possible.
It's not a thing.
Not possible.
It's not a thing people can do. Not effectively. Not to the point that it's going to change the circumstances. Mm-hmm. They need help. They need support. They need systemic change. The systems, the conveyor belt itself must change for this guy to be okay. And it's like, I hate... I mean, we were relating it earlier, saying, sometimes it should be nice to just not have to worry about it. But that's all of us saying that's you and I also suffering because of the same conveyor belt. You know what I mean? We all have different places on it. Maybe I'm not as close to the crusher as somebody else, and that's also unfortunate, because it's like, how much can I help you? Because I'm on it too.
It's all none of us are in different places. We're all just in different positions on the conveyor belt.
Correct.
One of
us
the
same crushing. In terms of capitalism,
I can't even say it. It's such a like huge concept in my head right now that like I'm just so pleased we got here.
You're welcome. No,
I'm struggling to even now say
it's something I think of every day, all day. Is that I have a hard enough time helping the people closer to the crusher, because I too am on that conveyor belt headed for the crusher. And this is true by the way, here I go, soapbox time, of every human being on the planet that isn't Elon fucking Musk right now.
Right.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody that's not a billionaire is inevitably on this conveyor belt to be crushed. That's just a fact.
No.
Because
yeah,
of the wealth hoarding. None of us can get there. We are all doomed in the same way. It is again, it's not a culture war, it's a class war. We are in this class war because we are also on the conveyor belt. And I think that like feeling of I've wanted to put words to that for a long time of like, I do what I can, mutual aid, like donating when I can to certain things and certain causes that are very important to me and like trying to put my money where my mouth is. But I too have very little money. So it's like, I'm doing what I can. And if more of us do that, then that is good. You know, I don't want to make it like that's not helping. Of course, that's helping. That has to happen because frankly, the billionaires aren't doing it, not to the extent it needs doing.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just that to articulate that, like the helplessness of being on the conveyor belt and wanting to help those closer to the crusher and trying to find tangible ways to do that. Like, ways to make a difference, ways to actually like, you know, slow the conveyor belt, really.
It's kind of like realizing that you as an individual recycling doesn't really do anything.
Right.
That the problem is still going to be there until the massive corporations stop producing the waste to begin with.
Absolutely.
So it's like we can always help each other move, you know, further back on the conveyor belt, further away from the crusher. Yes. But that is an endless cycle.
Happening.
That is a hamster wheel of what it looks like progress, but it will never be true progress.
Similar, but
until
different.
They shut down the conveyor belt.
So like I'm not gonna name a specific company because I haven't researched it enough to. You know what I mean? Like I need to speak as articulately and as knowledgeably as I can. But for the most part, there are corporations where they ask you when you're checking out, like, do you want to round up to donate to this? And I'm not saying that they don't do that.
No, it's true. It's a tax write-off. They can donate with your money,
not theirs.
Right.
Exactly. Some companies match. I'm not saying that every company that has a charitable arm is bad. I'm not saying that at all because I work in a nonprofit half of my time.
We're going to get schooled. We're going to get so many messages being like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know. But all I'm saying is that there are cases where it's a tax write-off instead of like your money may be going to that good cause, but it's marginal compared to what could be going to that cause. Right. And it's the optics. The idea of it looks and feels better than what would be most impactful, which would be like a greater share of that company's profits or that CEO's salary or whatever. You know, basic democratic socialism stuff.
Yeah. I hope we're not crushing anybody's, like view of the world and how things work. But it's like, because altruism.
I think if they're here,
that's true.
I think
you probably know.
You know better than we do.
But like altruism is also important.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. Like
there is merit there. Like there is weight to that.
It's important to think about good news being like all any of us can do is help our neighbor. We say stuff like that all the time too. Like we went into it in depth with like Pigeon Man and episodes like that. Like for anybody that's just joining us, hi. We we are existentially tired. Like everyone else, but
I'm not a blue collar worker, but I feel like this blue sedan.
And I think
I certainly do.
I think there are a lot of us that are really tired because of societal issues like this, and they've been coming up more and more on our show. We're getting called out for talking about it a little more frequently. But if it weren't affecting us, we wouldn't if it weren't affecting us, people we know, communities, the community at large, the collective us. We wouldn't be talking about it, but because we are a show that talks about society, culture, and the impact of media on society, we kind of have to. We have to,
and that's not our fault that it's in all of this old media
in
that
the
we
media.
Talk about. It's already baked in.
They said
that's what this whole scene is about. Like this is the part of the part of our show where I go, and that's our episode. We can just stop right now because that's the whole point. We've already gotten there.
Right.
That's what they were trying to say.
We got like 10 more cars to talk about. I'm sure I'll find an allegory for each and every one.
We've got 12 or 13 more cars to go.
Dealership on lock.
They were saying this 40 years ago We're just calling it to light.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, I guess, to say and disclaim. While we're disclaiming stuff, we are far from the first people to be soapboxing this stuff. But the more of us that do it, the better.
And yeah, like we're saying, we wouldn't have to talk about it if it wasn't worse than it was then. So,
amen.
Kind of forcing our hand here a little bit. If you, if you don't want us to talk about it, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Go make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what? Give to charity. Fuck it.
Man, we somehow looped back to a point
if you think about it, the more of us
like
that
you
are
were
on
just like, hey, we just yelled about this long enough that you can go pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
You know what?
No.
Pick yourself. No.
I think millennials have a pretty, like, I'm not saying that everybody thinks the same way, obviously, but I do think that we have a pretty firm grasp on like what is possible for us to do. Yeah. And it's important to like focus as much as we can on that for our own mental health sometimes.
Yeah. No, you have to do what feels best. You have to do what makes you feel most alive. And if, doing something.
And I would argue that pretty much any time pulling somebody else from the crusher's teeth will feel better than most other things.
Really damn good, I have to say. But if you think about it, if more and more of us pile onto the conveyor belt, will it slow it down? Will it destroy the
That's what
conveyor
I'm
belt?
saying. The conveyor belt is the enemy.
Yeah. We should
The conveyor belt is every politician that sold us a lie that we had to be, believe, or do certain things to line their pockets. It's everything. That the conveyor belt is all of it. It represents all of it. It represents the years of people buying into it, of different systems of controlling populations with fear, guilt, shame, all those things. It's all one big old machine. And let's do what we can to break it.
Dystopian nightmare. Wow. So
we're
moving
done
on. Moving on to the to the pink convertible. 1 car down, 7 to go.
I might just do the same soapbox, copy paste for every car.
The pink convertible represents the washed up actress or dancer or singer, etc., who may or may not have ever fully realized her dreams. Because most theories online say that she was probably a party girl who was in the Hollywood art scene but was never discovered. Her lyrics are, I just can't seem to get started. Don't have the heart to live in the fast lane. All that has passed and gone. So this is very similar.
You don't know the life of a showgirl, babe, and you're never ever gonna.
This is very similar, but different enough. These lyrics suggest that she is now past her prime and depressed, and she hasn't quite discovered the substance yet, so she hasn't gotten to live her second life.
I was literally going to say, I wonder if she's ever heard of the substance.
Don't do it.
It's coming from my...
Don't do it. Bad things.
It's not worth it.
But she's realizing that her best days are behind her, so she no longer sees much hope in the future. Like the blue sedan, it appears that she's also giving up. Her ignition has stopped working, and now she just can't seem to get started. She's burned out. This is also extremely relatable.
I get it.
Because when you're tired and you have things you want to do, but you just can't get going like you used to because you're depressed and the brain fog is totally blocking, your productivity, you feel worthless. Ask me how I know.
A single silent tear slides down my cheek.
I mean, good Lord. Like we just talked about up top, like just sitting down to work on this, I felt so good. And I was like, I'm gonna knock this out in just a couple hours. 10 hours later, I'm still working on it. And that's just that's just executive dysfunction.
I was going to say, were you going to say cognitive decline?
That's just cognitive decline. I mean, any day now,
probably
it's going to just, I think I'm just heading downhill. Snowball effect.
I do.
Starts as small as a pebble. The landslide, the rock slide's just coming.
I've been talking a lot about executive dysfunction lately. The weight of like your mind latches onto a specific thing, and it's like that's step thinking is big with ADHD. I know I talk about my ADHD a lot. Those that get it. I'm really sorry to those who don't, but maybe it'll help you relate to somebody that you know. Step thinking kind of changed my worldview whenever I realized what I was doing, because everything that I do is not just do a thing. it's the 12 things that go into doing the thing. It's not just do the laundry. It's go get the clothes from the laundry, separate the clothes that I like, go find which detergent am I using, find the stain room thing. Like, it's all of those things lined up together, and that sounds a lot harder and a lot worse than just do the laundry. But that's what my mind does to every task, because I need all of those steps broken out in order to accomplish the task.
Right.
And each one requires its own energy source. It requires its own, like, get up and go to do XYZ thing.
Yep.
And for anybody saying, yeah, that doesn't sound real, that sounds exhausting, I don't know how you live like that. Me neither. I'm very unmedicated. I can't take the medications that would help me. And when I realized that, I started, like, being able to give myself a break. And it's not like I didn't do this stuff. Let me also, like, there are some people that have a harder time actually doing it because of the way that I was socialized, just the way that girls with signs of neurodivergence just aren't diagnosed as quickly. I wasn't diagnosed. It wasn't the kind of thing. So it was like, I was just expected to show up and do the stuff anyway, not just the laundry, whatever the thing was. So it was like, I did it anyway, but it wore me out mentally. But I was hiding all of that burnout and masking through that burnout also. So nobody ever knew that I was going through that, like, hell. And that laundry is in one example, you know what I mean? Right. But it's like doing any one thing. Living in corporate America with something like a disability, frankly, like this, it's not just go to work. It's get up, eat food, take medication, shower, showers 15 steps, put on makeup, because if you don't, they'll tell you that you look sick, tired, or dead. Like, find clothes, like, which clothes are not going to irritate me in a sensory way today, because it's different from yesterday. And I don't know. I've been on a lot of rants about this recently, because women have it in such a way that, like, we can never quite catch up to, like, what our bodies are doing ever. Like, it never happens because it's a monthly cycle, but it's also like it's a lifelong cycle. And by the time you got a handle on it, it changed. So anyway, the steps and step thinking, they're going to exhaust you. And I can only imagine what this pink convertible has had to go through in her life to, like,
bring
to
it
show
back
up.
Around.
I can only imagine the steps that, again, you don't know the life of a showgirl. Like, something like that to me sounds completely unattainable because, again, the steps aren't just, it's not just one thing. And it's go to audition, be rejected, go to, whatever the situation is with this pink convertible. I'm sure it isn't just, a life of
I'm sure
decay.
She ran the gamut.
Right.
Well, see, that's the thing, is she embodies that experience. She is this, all of these cars are stereotypes that embody the full spectrum of every type of, like, caricature. Right.
Yeah.
So if you can think about it, this pink convertible's been through it. She's seen it all. She's done it all. It's all happened to her.
Yeah. And she gets up and goes again. She gets up and bounces back. She's been
For
judged.
Years and
she's
years
been
and
critiqued.
Years. Yeah.
She's been shined up and pretty.
Decades, probably.
She's been let rust. It's just every phase of this. That woman has seen some shit.
Yep.
And it's a disrespect to, a party girl, this, that, whatever.
Right.
Everybody's been through something.
I didn't even want to say that, but that's what
I'm sure it's been an interpretation.
Says. Right.
Everybody's been through something. And I guarantee you, if a person judging a party girl, whomever, if they're judging somebody in a frivolous way or judging somebody by their cover, they would, again, if they knew half the things that went into that person's life, probably wouldn't be so judgmental anymore.
Definitely. So, either she struggled for a long time to realize those dreams, putting herself through all of this, just to get there, just to
the money she spent on the tire wax.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's like either she never ever got there, or she did get there and she had it, but now she's on the back end of it.
And either way,
and she's seeing how she's no longer relevant and no longer desired, no longer wanted in that scene, and so now she's left to this.
And what do you do?
This junkyard, this nursing home, this wherever she's wound up all these years later. And so she's tired and she just can't keep going anymore, because what's the point?
What is? I get it, girly.
There's nothing left there for her.
The world
has moved on to the next young.
You deserve to be in a nice assisted
freshly
living facility with
pink convertible.
Friday night karaoke and bingo on Thursdays.
Hey man,
You really do. Lots of friends.
That's the life. That's the life.
I'm doing this new thing where I'm romanticizing nursing homes and assisted living, which is not at all how any of that goes.
No, that's terrible.
But I just have to imagine and believe that when we all get there, we're going to have engineered something that makes it like you see the posts all the time where it's like, oh, we're just gonna all be playing N64 and whatever, and like our bodies are falling apart. It's gonna be painful. That part sucks, but like we can be friends through that part, can't we?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I have a hard time with it because I worked in a nursing home and it's not
I know. Well,
ideal.
That's because of, again, abuse, neglect, those workers not being compensated fairly or trained properly. I've been through, that with my grandparents aging and when I was really young. Yeah. We'll get there. There are other cars I probably need to apply that to. But
I don't know. It's
we'll see.
Yeah, it's mostly the not being compensated fairly for the long ass hours and the horrible working conditions.
Right, exactly.
And then the nurses themselves are exhausted and they're overworked. They're not paid enough. Mm-hmm. They're the blue sedan.
Mm-hmm. There are parts of the world where aging is not the hell that it is here.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I'm just going to yell about all of them.
That's fine.
You ready?
That's great. That's what I need. That's what I want.
Well, here we go. Line me up. Hey, batter. I'm going to hit you with something else, I guess.
All right, slugger. So like we said, those are a bit more obvious, a bit more on the nose as far as your examination goes.
Yeah, I'm confident you're going to remind me of the next car and I'm going to be like, well, I got nothing. After all that. Sorry to that guy in that situation. Sucks.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. They're all understandable to some degree. I think we all know
especially
each of these
in our old age
stereotypes. Yeah, in our old age, we've seen enough to know.
Now we know. Baby Kaylin did not have the life experience to be approaching this junkyard with the proper respect.
And here's where the song begins to shift to more complicated situations where the lyrics seem a little more meaningful, yet way more cryptic, much harder to see. Yeah, as a kid, just listening. I mean, I think this is where it loses the entire target audience until the end of the scene.
They just decided to do something else, and we got to come
over their heads. Because next we have the red sports car / Corvette, which represents the drifter or the musician or the artist, traveler, whatever.
Starving artist kind of thing.
And this car sings, I come from KC, Missouri, and I got my kicks out on Route 66, every truck stop from Butte to MO. Motown to Old Alabama.
Old Alabama. From
Texarkana and east of Savannah, from Tampa to Old Kokomo.
Johnny B. Good.
The predominant theory online describes a young adult taking a road trip from Missouri over and down the East Coast to the Florida Keys, then up and across the Gulf Coast heading west, which means he probably drove through Mobile on I-10. And this could either be the Great American Road Trip, or it could be that the West Coast is the final destination. Probably both, but it doesn't really matter either way. Because as TV Tropes points out, Butte, Montana is the most westward location mentioned in the lyrics. And considering this is a red Corvette from the 1960s, a highly prized antique sports car, it's not likely that a car like this would just end up in a junkyard without a very good reason. So, considering the mangled state of the car, there's a good chance it was involved in a pretty nasty accident near Butte, totaling the vehicle.
Ugh. I just got chills from that. I don't know why.
And almost definitely killing the driver. So yeah, that's pretty dark.
I've always been afraid. I've knocked on all the wood in the world. Hopefully everybody heard me. I don't even like talking about car accidents, man.
No, that's the one thing I think that's come up the most that we've both cringed at.
Every time.
We both have a childhood fear of somebody we love dying in a car accident or being in one.
Still, it never goes away.
Nope.
Because it's just, I think for me, and I mean, I'm going to try and like intellectualize that fear for a moment. I think it's more just the unpredictability. It's the like their loss of control, because it's something that's just out of your control, and having a really hard time accepting that uncertainty. I'm not good at that. That's been my last 10 years in talk therapy, because I'm not good at accepting uncertainty. And I think that is the most like concrete manifestation of a fear like that that's just in you all the time.
Yep.
You know?
No, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's something we do every day. We drive.
Scary.
Most of us drive a car every single day. Or at least I did till I started
And
working
most
from
of us have
home.
been affected by a tragedy like that in our lives, you know?
It's such a mundane, normal thing.
Right.
Like the person driving this car, this red car, was just on a road trip heading west. And next thing
Didn't
you know,
go so well.
dies in a car accident. And it's just like,
So are we certain that the
fuck.
driver died, or are we just thinking
no,
maybe?
that's
And see,
speculation.
Here, let me have that then, at least.
That's speculation.
This car did. We can recognize that. But perhaps he was just
The car
on his
was
road
totaled.
trip. The car was totaled. The driver is safely on the West Coast.
I'll give it to you. You can have it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I needed a win. I
Could be.
appreciate that.
Could be that he survived. She or she.
He or she
And
is living it up.
The
in
fact that the car
really
has a
fun,
male
fancy nursing home.
Yeah, there you
in
go.
California.
Well, it's just the fact that the car has a male voice makes me think it's. I think
the
most
driver is
people
male.
identify the gender of the car with the gender,
the gender
of the
of
driver. Whatever the most obvious gender is to them, that's what they say the car is. So that's why I said he.
Sure.
But in theory, at the time, this person wouldn't be in a nursing home. So hopefully they're young enough that they were still chasing their dreams out in California.
Well, so they're
Haven't
now in
yet
a nursing
become
home
the
because it
pink
was
Corvette.
30 years ago.
Right, I guess now they
That's
might
what I'm
be.
saying.
Hopefully they became a massive star, musician, whatever, artist,
Maybe
whatever.
that.
And maybe they're huge in Hollywood now, and maybe they are not in a nursing home.
I like that.
They can afford home care.
Even better. They can be. Yeah, they'll be cared for in home.
Unfortunately, that's not the only car accident we have to discuss this evening.
Damn.
Because next up we have the old race car, which represents an aged and probably injured athlete, if not a dead one. And this car sings. I once ran the Indy 500. I must confess I'm impressed how I did it. I wonder how close that I came. Now I get a sinking sensation. I was the top of the line, out of sight, out of mind. So much for fortune and fame.
So he did well in his prime. He did well in his life.
Well, yes. This
And
old
even
race
the mighty
car
fall.
is reminiscing on his racing days. He once had fortune and fame, but all he has left now is this sinking sensation. One of the key things he says is that he wonders how close that he came. There's two ways to look at this. Maybe he's just saying that he did really well, like you're saying. Maybe he wonders, he marvels at the athletic ability he had in his youth. And that would be a really nice way to look at it. It would.
And with the context of the song,
But
probably not the correct interpretation. Or
but
the
the
intended
other
interpretation.
the other is to assume that he doesn't know how close he came to winning, which implies he didn't finish his final race.
Oh.
And the only reason for this would be if the car was totaled in a racing accident. Again, probably killing the driver. I think if I gave you the
other
life
one,
of the driver
yeah,
last
you're probably
time,
right.
I don't think the driver survived this one.
Yeah, higher speeds.
Because if you survived it, I think you'd keep the car as a relic. If you're like a
Probably.
famous race car driver.
Yeah, but if he's not around for the car.
Right. If he died, nobody would
bode
want
well.
to keep the car. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's valid. I just don't like it.
But hey, it isn't just driving down the street. This is
I wonder
racing.
how close that I came.
You're not going to race a car, so you're safe. You're good.
Haunting.
Yeah.
Haunting.
This isn't just any old race car. This is a vintage racing car from either the 30s or the 40s. And as he says, he was top of the line in his day, which is true. But this model was designed prior to most modern safety protocols that would protect the driver in the event of a crash. Instead, race cars from this era were engineered to avoid crashing and relied solely on the driver's reflexes, utilizing the vehicle's low center of gravity, lightweight aerodynamics, fucking hydraulic brakes and shit.
We're going to do everything we can to make sure you don't crash. But if you do, good luck.
Yep. So like I said, these racers were engineered to avoid crashing because they were not designed to survive crashes.
Ouch.
Whereas modern cars are designed to absorb impact as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicles from this era were built with rigid, non-deforming frames that transferred pretty much the entire force of impact to the driver.
So and you said 30s, 40s?
30s.
That's what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. I guess I'm on a mission to turn all these cars' lives into, or at least the drivers' lives, into something more positive than their cars. But if he was top of the line in his day, 30s and 40s, and he's just now in a junkyard, it is still possible in 1987 that this car and its driver lived a life of racing. they did their racing, they did their time, and the car is now just in disrepair and decay because it is old.
You may be right.
Still, I've lost all the fortune. It's still that same messaging. It doesn't really change as far as like the I had this fame, I had this fortune. I was at the height of my career. I'm still like, I still can't get that back. But maybe
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Or maybe this car has been in this junkyard the entire time.
Maybe. And today's his day, and we're just lucky enough to witness it.
Because, I mean, if you look at the piles and piles of untouched metal objects in cars in this junkyard, could be that today's just his day.
His number got pulled.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
You might be number, 7,562.
But one day
you're going to be up next.
Yeah.
No matter how you live your life or who you are, one day you're going to die.
One day you're next. You still here with us, Darklings? Anybody still listening? Did y'all all just turn it off? Turn off your streaming service and head to hug your nearest loved one or pet?
Hey, you should do that.
You can.
You should do that, but then
you
come
can
back
pause
and finish
or take
the
us with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
But I do have to say, because I researched this and I thought this was crazy. But like, did you notice that the driver's seat, the cockpit of this race car was open?
Mm-hmm.
This allowed the driver to be thrown from the vehicle if there was a crash, because this was considered more ideal than being trapped in the driver's seat if the cockpit was on fire, which you see a lot in modern racing.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't watch modern racing.
Well, I don't either, but I see videos and different things. If a car crashes or gets in a wreck, usually it catches on fire and they have to get the driver out really quickly.
I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you watch modern racing?
No, I've just seen that.
Oh, see? Same. I've seen it. I seen it.
Yeah, but I don't make a habit of it.
I hope it doesn't happen often.
Mostly because I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just, it has a way of finding you, that sort of stuff.
I don't watch it because I don't want to see crashes. I don't watch it because it's boring. And I don't like racing.
The Darkling racing fans just
see ya.
Now they're gone too. So
bye.
Good job.
I doubt any of them.
The car guys we were hanging on by the car guys. First, they needed to hear about the rest of the cars.
Hey, you car boys out there! This one's for y'all.
Hey,
y'all listening to these cars, you car boys? So yeah, staying on track with planned obsolescence, one of the main themes from the movie. I'm not really surprised that these older models of race car were quickly phased out and forgotten once the philosophy surrounding driver safety shifted to actually protecting the driver.
I would say, again, the conveyor belt's similar, the systems suck, but at least safety systems have improved.
Mm-hmm. Thanks,
Science
OSHA.
Has improved our safety systems. Thank you, science.
Science makes everything better.
Now that's progress. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow for everybody except all these cars. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Do you see they're changing that?
I saw they were adding to it.
They're changing.
Is it changing? Changing? Wow.
For new decades of time.
I just thought they were adding on to it. They're making the circle
can't.
bigger.
I wish. That's what I want. Bigger pie. But no.
Wow. I mean, the futuristic one still looks pretty futuristic. So
they always said that, Walt said that he wanted that attraction to continue morphing and changing. So I support the changes, but I'm nostalgic.
But who approves the changes? You know what I'm saying? Like,
The company, the Imagineers, the people.
I know
carrying on
that,
the
but I mean, break out the Ouija board. I want to know what Walt thinks. I just want to know.
Me too.
And speaking of the carousel of progress, or carousel of something, the next two vehicles we will discuss in tandem, because in the movie, these two are crushed together at the same time. These are the Texan limousine and the hearse. The limousine implies a wedding and a groom. The hearse implies a funeral and a corpse.
God. Oh, God.
And
dear God.
And because these two vehicles represent escorts that are less important than those being escorted, the limousine also implies a groomsman delivering a groom, and the hearse implies a pallbearer delivering a body in a casket.
Thought you were going to say a bride.
I mean,
really thought that was coming.
All of this is open to interpretation, so bring that if you want to.
I was putting my car before the crusher. It's fine.
Don't we all? The Texan limousine sings, I once took a Texan to a wedding. Once took a Texan to a wedding. He kept forgetting his loneliness, letting his thoughts turn to home, and we turned. The hearse sings, I took a man to a graveyard. I beg your pardon, it's quite hard enough just living with the stuff I have learned. So the Texan limousine.
I really do.
Nobody wants to hear that. The Texan limousine sings about weddings and loneliness. And the hearse is haunted by all the things he's learned while driving dead men to their graves, and seemingly gives himself up to death, leaping on top of the limousine, begging its pardon.
You want to write a short story about that, don't you?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me. I could just tell. There are thoughts. I have thoughts. These two cars are piled on top of each other. First the wedding car, and then the funeral car.
Life and death and life. Hair
between them. And the two are crushed together, ensuring that they will never separate.
And they won't.
Weddings and funerals. Weddings are ceremonial representations of life, and funerals are ceremonial representations of loss of life. Because they're so similar, they're easily paralleled. Just as there is often a fine line between love and hate, there's also often a vague, obscure, blurred line between life and death. Mm-hmm. And it's arguable that the two have often been mistaken for each other for as long as humans, have been around.
Oh my God. Again.
Many do view marriage as the death of their independence or freedom, or, insert your noun, making their wedding something of a funeral, symbolically, in their own minds. But, I tend to go the route of tragedy. Someone dying young is very sad and tragic, but when it's associated with a wedding or a prom night or some event full of hope and anticipation, that all gets cut short. Yes, optimism. That death becomes more than tragic. It becomes a haunting. Becomes a ghost story, an urban legend.
Woof.
And this is made ever more dark by a couple TV tropes theories. The Texan being taken to the wedding was the groom. He got cold feet and went home, potentially killing himself.
Yikes.
Who knows why, but that's what people think.
Thoughts of home and we turned.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a different way to interpret that.
Well, there are some more. I'll get through these and then we can discuss. There's a line there that says that the Texan kept on forgetting. And this is interesting because it might imply that the Texan had Alzheimer's or dementia. Maybe this limousine drove the Texan to his wedding multiple times because he kept forgetting that he'd gotten married long ago.
Whoa.
And this would further imply that his wife had already passed, hence the line hinting at his loneliness.
I don't feel any better about that.
Could be also here that, like you said, maybe the hearse was driving the bride. Could be that the hearse means she died. The hearse is the wife. The limousine is the groom.
Yikes.
The bride, the groom.
Something about that is messing with me.
I know. That's what it's a lot.
I think that the Alzheimer's approach is perhaps a tad too layered. I think that if we're going to go this many layers deep for a children's movie like the one we're covering and talking about,
hey, that's what's online.
That's out there. I don't know. That one feels like a reach to me, just a little bit.
I do agree.
Loneliness. Can you tell me the line again?
Yeah, we got.
I don't know.
I once took a Texan to a wedding. He kept forgetting his loneliness, letting his thoughts turn to home, and we turned. He kept on forgetting something. He's lonely. Mm-hmm. Something changes his mind about going to the wedding.
Mm-hmm. His thoughts turn
and
to
then
home.
They go home.
Perhaps he was getting married somewhere that wasn't Texas. A Texan to a wedding. And he's like, no, I got to be in Texas. I wish I was back in Texas.
I mean, I don't know why you cancel your wedding if it's just because it's not in your preferred state.
I don't know. I'm just trying to dig us out of whatever.
What is this? Something very bad is going to happen?
Existential. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good show.
Thoughts turned to home and we turned. Yeah. I mean, it could be like, I think that when I first watched it back, like earlier today, I went into more of a place of like, like we took a sharp turn. We took a wrong turn. You know what I mean? Like we were distracted. Maybe he kept forgetting something, forgetting his suit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, kept forgetting, turned home and like something tragic where it was like an accident or something. But I don't remember if the state of the hearse or the limousine indicate anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it just, the fact that it layers in the loneliness, just
adding that in.
But
it's like you said, a lot of people. Personally, I don't understand. I mean, I do, money and whatever else. I mean, there are societal reasons that are also, like, in my opinion, frustrating. As a romantic who believes in love, but I think there are many reasons to get married. There are many people who are platonically married, and I think all of that is great and fine, and I have no problem with it. I think the thing that I'm trying to say is that it is disappointing to me how many people do view weddings and marriage in that light, and how our culture has commodified it so much. Like it's historically been used for control, oppression as an institution, and that's frustrating to me because I would like it to be the romantic thing, but really the idea of weddings being a romantic thing has only been the case for a few centuries, a couple. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. Historically, there were like arranged marriages. It was very,
and it further adds to that parallel of the death march of like, here we go. Yeah. Like this is something that I'm doing out of obligation or whatever, politics, whatever reason.
Sure.
I don't know.
There's a lot there because I think like you can take the whole, he kept forgetting thing and run with it. But then it's changed by the loneliness aspect. But you can also take the loneliness and run with it, but it's changed by the forgetting aspect. And so they sort of, they overlap too much, and it's very difficult to take anything too far in one direction.
Yes.
When you have to consider the other one.
Exactly. And a lot of the lyrics here do this, which brings me back to, have you considered perhaps they were just rhyming words for a song in a kid's movie?
No, letting and forgetting rhymes, not loneliness and forgetting. See, they could have chosen anything but that. I don't know. I don't have the answers here, which I probably should, but
of them so far though. I want to think about that later. The hearse and the limousine dying together.
See, I think that's more of just a feeling. Like when you're watching it, you don't really think about it. But then when you're writing about it, you're like the wedding limousine and the hearse go together.
Yeah, it didn't hit me that way or as hard until you said the words out loud. So yeah, it's just a different track my mind is on there. Now.
But what I find most fascinating here, beautiful, haunting, is the idea that the limousine knew what his driver was thinking. It says his mind turned to home and we turned. If this means that the limousine knew what the driver was thinking, or the passenger, it could also be true that the hearse either knew the thoughts of the undertaker driving the corpses to their graves, or it knew the thoughts of the dead that were driven to their graves. And I think this is a reach. But I like this as a story like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want to write.
At some point you were going to say, I'm going to write about it.
This would be such forbidden knowledge of unearthly secrets that the hearse would be burdened with. And it makes sense that the hearse would be rushed onto the conveyor belt to be crushed alongside the limousine. And having forced his way forward and crashed into the limousine, he says, I beg your pardon. It's quite hard enough just living with the stuff I had learned.
Yeah, that one hits. That really does.
So it could just be, driving dead people to their graves.
It took a toll.
It took a toll. But the things that I've learned, the stuff I had learned.
Stuff I have learned.
It could just be this general knowledge of.
Imagine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can just sort of take it, with a grain of salt and be like, okay, so yeah, learned all these different ways people died, murders, suicides, what have you. It was just burdened with that knowledge, but it's like, how does the car know these things? Was it just discussed on the drive?
Correct me if I'm wrong. So the limousine is the first time that we're talking specifically about the driver and not the car, or the passenger and not the car. See. Is that right?
Let me just, he says, I took a Texan to a wedding.
I took a Texan to a wedding. And I mean,
the race car says I ran the Indy 500.
I ran the Indy 500. Yeah. These are all.
And then the red sports car. I come from Casey, Missouri. I drove around.
The car drove around.
The pink convertible. I just can't seem to get started. And then there's the blue sedan. I can't take this kind of pressure.
So
yeah, this is the first time it's like, so
I'm just thinking about that blue sedan on the daily commute,
Yeah, right. But he's talking about how I just can't do one more drive. That's too much. But the Texan limousine's like, I drove this guy to a wedding.
Yes. So the limousine is the first and only so far car to talk about the person inside, not the experience of the vehicle itself. So this weird existential moment with the limousine and the hearse is the first time that we're addressing the people inside the cars.
And then the hearse says, yes, I took a man to a graveyard.
It's so interesting because those cars, like, presumably also had people in them or tragically killed in them or whatever else, and they're talking about their lives, and then we have this moment where it's like we're gonna introspect further, literally inside the car to the person of the mind driving it, and then how much does the car know about what you're thinking? I could see it being like the limousine knows that the passenger's mind turned to home because they turned. You know what I mean? Like that's
sure.
But I don't know. The idea that it's something supernatural where the driver grips the steering wheel and it's like now you know everything I know kind of
or
thing.
It's like Herbie? I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's like the spider from The Last Unicorn, stuck in his cage thinking she thinks she's Arachne. The spider thinks it's Arachne, but it's just a spider. So it's like, does the car think that it's one with its driver? Just because when the driver thinks to turn, the car turns? Like, does the car know that it's not it's human? So it's just sort of, how much does your car know about you? That's the question.
What are you teaching it?
Your daily commute. If you ride a subway to work, what does the subway know about you?
Yeah.
If these
what
walls
are you
talk.
teaching it? What does that commute look like for you? And there are Darklings listening to us during this commute in their car going, it's too meta. I can't do it anymore.
Is it like Christine? Does the radio start talking to you?
Right. Yeah. Haunting.
That'd be fun. Let us know if you've ever been haunted by your own car. I'd love to know. All right, we've only got 2 more.
Hey.
Only got 2 more. We're getting down
rock
to
and rolling.
These wheels, they're turning.
Big wheels keep on turning.
Next up, we have
life is a highway.
Oh no, there it is. Next up, we have the station wagon, which represents 2 ends of the spectrum, from beach bums to the Hollywood elite. This car sings, once drove a surfer to sunset.
Here we go.
There were bikinis and buns, there were weenies. Fellini just couldn't forget. Pico, let's go up to Zuma. Pico, let's go up to Zuma. From Zuma to Yuma, the rumor was I had a hand in the lay of the land.
Please tell me what the hell this car is talking about.
See?
Please?
Cryptic as fuck, man.
I mean,
like,
I understand the dick joke, but beyond that,
More than you know. More than you know.
I got nothing.
Let's start from the top with a breakdown from TV tropes. They point out that Sunset is likely Sunset Boulevard in
Got
Hollywood.
that. Picking it up.
The bikinis, buns, and weenies
Obvious.
were likely very obvious references to the hedonism of Hollywood in association with Fellini, who just couldn't forget the things he'd seen while being driven around to places with the owner of this vehicle.
Okay.
This is Federico Fellini, a prominent filmmaker at the time,
I'm so excited.
who made art house films that relied heavily on very sexual themes.
Okay.
Mostly forbidden desire. Things like fetishism, erotic fantasy, even edging toward the exploration of erotic grotesquerie. So it was like, it was a lot of like
Blink, blink.
fantasy stuff.
Right now I'm working through car puns. Like
Baroque images. Earthiness is the word I saw. Sexualness, sexuality, essentially. This is referenced in a kid's movie.
Oh, that's what I was just about to say. Like, I love how we talked about Brave Little Toaster for 2 full episodes, and we didn't get to talk about Fellini.
We didn't.
Which is
I actually wrote LOL
like
right here.
It's a really good thing we're doing this, honestly, because that's
had
a
to.
wrong we needed to write. If I've ever
That's a
heard
wrong
one.
weenie to write.
Weenie.
We need.
I hate that word. I do. I really do.
I was-
And I just said it for all of you to
we
hear.
laugh. We laugh at the mention of weenies because it's a funny slang term for a penis.
But,
It's like, okay,
I
that's
mean, I
funny.
guess penises are fine, but I don't
that's
like
funny.
the term.
But you have to assume we assume it's a kids movie, so they're just talking about hot dogs, right? We're just talking
Right.
about bikinis, beaches,
Yes, hot
buns
dogs.
and weenies.
That's
we got hot dogs.
I definitely didn't clock this as a kid. So
No, sure. Why would you? Because you know you don't think about that kind of stuff when you're a kid. Most kids, unless you're a boy, but alleged because you think about your penis
unless
all the
you're
time.
half of all kids.
Yeah, whatever. Allegedly, I haven't heard it for myself, but they say that on the official soundtrack, the line is, "There were keenies and hot dogs and weenies."
Oh, that doesn't help.
So they differentiated between hot dogs and weenies.
Right. Yeah, that makes it worse.
So they're not saying there were hot dogs and hot dogs.
Maybe they are, Christian. Maybe they are. And I think that's not very inclusive of you.
I guess you're right. But I'm pretty sure they're talking about hot dogs and penises.
Yeah, probably.
But they changed it to bikinis, buns, and weenies, which is not
Cuter.
Any better. It's cute.
But it's not any better.
It's cuter, but it's not better.
No.
Oh man.
I'm really blown away. I wanted to know. I deeply wanted to know, and now all of us that watched this movie as children, we know who Fellini is and what he was about.
They just dug in and they were like, you know what this song needs? You know what this kid's movie needs here at the end, almost to the climax? Yeah, they were just like climactic moment, climax. Fellini films, sex. Yeah, let's reference Fellini in this children's movie. Why not?
Granted, I will say,
we're talking about Hollywood.
Like
we're
most
talking about
things
hedonism
that we cover, it makes sense that there are kids.
Erotic fantasy.
We know who made this, first of all. We talked all about them in those episodes that we did. We know who made this. This is guys in their 20s trying to make a name for themselves. Like, again, I'm not being specific about the musicians, but like,
they were laughing.
This group of creators thought this was hilarious. And I'm sure there wasn't like a dark slant to like, oh, we're going to throw this in there. And you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that. It's genuinely just,
They were thinking.
Like, there's a grown up somewhere over some kid's shoulder that's going to go, and that's it.
They were thinking the parents will get it.
Yeah. But man.
You know, they were cackling. They were laughing so hard at this shit.
Yeah. All those Cal Arts kids.
Yeah.
That's this. Yeah.
Those young boys.
John Lasseter.
Hanging out with Tim Burton, Henry Selick. To be in that room, making dick jokes.
Those Cal Arts kids.
Talking about Fellini.
I was about to say, I'm sure that this was far from the only dick joke that writer's
How many times do you think they came in for like a, like an art meeting, you know, like they're storyboarding and they're thinking like, okay, today's the day. John Scott, he's got his big pitch to us, his big reveal for what he wants this to look like in the scene. And he flips up on top of the board and it's just a giant penis. He's just like, hey, anybody? You guys get it? And they all just slapping their knees, laughing so hard. John, you crack me up. Wow, what a funny guy. And he's like, just kidding. And he pushes it out of the way.
Right.
And they have their actual meeting.
they have their actual meaning, which actually does include an actual dick joke.
Yeah, and that's the joke. See? Boom. Done. Got it. Wow. Ah, man. Good times.
You're still entertained. You're still smiling.
just
what is
just
it?
Beaming.
What is it about that?
It's just in a kid's movie. It's in a kid's movie. It makes it extra funny for some reason, and I'm sorry to everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize.
Yeah, me too.
So
we
the
didn't
station
make it. We're
wagon.
just talking about it.
We didn't do this. We're just here talking about it. We're just reporters, essentially. The station wagon continues to say, Pico, let's go up to Zuma. From Zuma to Yuma, the rumor was, I had a hand in the lay of the land.
Who's Pico?
TV tropes suggest that Pico is Pico Boulevard.
Okay.
Zuma is Zuma Beach in
Okay.
Southern California.
Mm-hmm. Been to these places.
And Yuma is Yuma, Arizona. They talk about how highways often made or broke smaller towns depending on their proximity to the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And this song suggests that the owner of this vehicle, the station wagon, was so powerful that wherever they drove this car, that's where the road was paved. That's the interpretation. I don't know.
Okay.
From Zuma to Yuma, the rumor was I had a hand in the lay of the land.
Gotcha. So a bigwig decided, who's going to make and who's going to break.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Sure.
Pico's a place. I get it now. Just the way it's said, it sounds like he's talking to a person.
Yeah, because they say they make Pico Boulevard sound like Pico as a person. Pico, let's go up to Zuma. So it's just how the song is written. It's very, very strange. All these obscure references. It could also simply be, it's like...
Again, these are Cal Arts kids. These are the rumors, the rumor mill of the ways of Hollywood, old Hollywood, money, and like politics, like all of those jokes that were so... like self-referential sort of probably at the time would be completely lost on two toddler. Well, I was a toddler when I watched it, from Alabama,
but these guys, thought they were hot shit, and like the hipster culture, this is the beginning of true hipster culture because it's just past the actual hippie movement. So, they're sitting there thinking the more obscure the reference, the better. The more
if you get it, you get it. If you
I'm
don't,
gonna
you
look
don't.
to my peers.
Right.
So I bet this guy was just writing the most obscure things he could think of, or people were pitching him ideas and he was just like, okay, sure. Yeah. Who knows? Again, we got to have him on. We got to talk to him.
The context is
Van Dyke Parks. What were you thinking?
The context and when and how this was written. That's really what we try to dive into. And that's just the closest I can get to interpreting something like that, is like that probably had a lot of context to them at that time. And it is entirely lost on me now.
Yeah.
And then.
These all would just be like, these are roads and beaches and places that they probably visited, hung out, drove down.
Yeah.
They were probably very familiar with all of these places. And so
and also
them,
just maybe a car reminiscing on its
obvious.
life. Like either the driver was a bigwig or what have you, but like as these places were being put on the map, so to speak, as towns were, rising and falling, and there's all of this happening and this car is traveling to all these places, it's the idea that like you're living this life and it's like you paved the way for the future, so to speak. Like maybe not literally those roads or whatever, but like your commerce, your business, your interactions with these places had an effect on how they developed, sort of.
Right. Right.
And maybe something more general and generic like that, where, I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're the car driven by this bigwig, you might be like famous among other cars. Like other cars know you because you're that guy's car.
And
so
if you show up here, then it's on the map. Like, showing up at a club or something.
He says, rumor was I had a hand in the lay of the land. So it's almost like wherever he was driven, this car was
That's the next hot spot. That's the next big thing.
People knew me, I showed up and I got the deals done, like I'm the guy. And it's like, so people talked about me wherever I went. That put places on the map.
Right.
It's kind of, I think it's kind of the idea too, where it's like talking about Fellini, talking about Hollywood, talking about discovering places. It's almost like this person was creating stars. Like this was like a Hollywood producer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the car thinks
maybe
it's
like
establishing
a talent scout
towns,
or something.
And then the actual driver's like establishing like franchises with major
stars
talents.
or yeah. Interesting. I can get on board with that. Like I can
It's
get
a
on
fun
board with
parallel.
this in a
It's a
vague
fun
way
parallel.
and just be like, yeah, okay. I'll
But
sing
it's
it
pushing the
when it comes on.
narrative that it doesn't matter how important you are in life, you're still going
on the
to
conveyor
die.
Right.
Don't forget it. Memento mori.
Mm-hmm. But hey, I'd still rather have put some places on the map or have been on the map at all than not, you know?
I might identify with the blue sedan, but I kind of would rather be the station wagon. Sounds like Fellini had some fun with whatever these guys are getting up to.
Definitely.
Woo. Bikinis, buns, and weenies. Hey. But not too much fun, because there's also one small detail we've overlooked. That is the surfboard on top of the station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a giant shark bite taken out of it.
Huh.
And this suggests that its owner, or at least one of its multiple owners over time, was the victim of a shark attack.
God.
So I don't know if I want to roll the dice on that and be one of the owners of the station wagon. Because it sounds like one of them, if it wasn't just the one, got eaten by a shark.
Why was it still on? Why was it still with the car?
Who knows? You know what? I don't make up the rules.
It was so tragic. Nobody wants to think about the car, or the station wagon, or the beach.
Threw it
board. It's just all gone.
Yeah. Again, shark attack at a kid's movie. Sex, fetishism, forbidden desire. Pretty dark, no?
Pretty dark, yeah. Pretty dark. I don't know if shark attack belongs in that same pile.
You know?
But sure.
Life's just one big shark attack.
Don't I know it?
Well, last but certainly not least is the green pickup, which represents a reservation elder who is marginalized, ignored, and he sings, "I worked on a reservation. Who would believe they would love me and leave on a bus back to old Santa Fe? Once in an Indian nation, I took the kids on the skids where the Hopi was happy till I heard him say, 'You're worthless.'" Again,
worthless.
pretty difficult to understand what he's talking about, but the internet has some theories.
Yeah, this one feels a little more interpretable.
The green pickup is the last of the vehicles to die, and it's the only one still in good enough shape to actively drive himself onto the conveyor belt. He sings about working on a reservation and being loved by the people there, only to be abandoned when they took a bus back to Santa Fe. This is probably Santa Fe, New Mexico. TV tropes suggest that this is all connected, that the green pickup was used by a charity organization on a Hopi reservation in New Mexico to help transport kids from Skid Row to proper homes. They say that the organization grew more successful and needed to transport more and more children, so they opted for a bus instead, rendering the truck worthless and sending him to the junkyard despite being in good enough shape to still drive. And I have a quote from TV tropes that kind of contradicts some of the other stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it feels.
He was the only one to be flat out told that he's worthless by the humans, and definitely not coincidentally. He's also the only one to willingly drive onto the conveyor belt to be crushed. He was not only not valued for the humanitarian work he was doing, but was the victim of "you have outlived your usefulness," and this devastated him enough for him to drive straight to his end. The
"you have outlived your usefulness" is just one of the tropes on TV tropes. So that's why it's like in bold. But yeah, so he's not the only one ready to die, but it does appear that he's the only one that willingly is able to drive himself.
Like, what more is there for me if I'm not fulfilling that purpose?
Right. So the idea here is that reality has him depressed enough to actively kill himself.
Yikes.
And I think we said this in the main episode, but the fandom wiki claims that this entire song was almost cut from the film because of the pickup truck committing suicide. Even though it's pretty obvious that a few of the other ones would if they could. You know what I mean? Like the blue sedan.
Right. They can't move.
He's like, "I want this to happen. Just do it. Get it over with." And a few of them do that anyway. So like, I kind of think the truck here committing suicide is just the cherry on top of an ice cream sundae of reasons not to include this sequence in a children's movie.
I agree.
But I wouldn't change anything. I mean, despite my preference for, zero musical numbers in a movie that's not a musical.
You wouldn't cut all of them given the chance?
I love a musical.
I'm pretty sure you may have even said that 3 years ago, that you would have just chopped them all if you could.
I love a musical, but I don't like musical numbers in movies that are not musicals. That's my stance. Either be a musical or don't be a musical.
A musical number makes a movie a musical.
I disagree.
I think we disagreed about this then too.
I think we probably did. Either way, I'm still glad they kept in this scene. But yeah, that's the stance online. But the reason I'm glad they kept it in is because watching the inevitable, inescapable death of 8 singing vehicles on screen had us all fully aware of the stakes at hand, without the knowledge of which the bravery of the little toaster might not have held such a lasting heroic weight.
Well, okay.
I'm just saying. We got to know the stakes. Context is everything.
You're right. Without the darkness, would we know the light? I think there's something to be said also for the repetition, for it being so many, because we said, okay, they did a couple, and then they're like, oh, we're on a roll. But I think the repetition is also kind of the point. Again, just kind of it's a song, first of all, but like just the idea that like it's inevitable. It doesn't matter what walk of life, where you're from, like this is an inevitability, and that repetition is like strangely comforting, because it's like we are all, it is like a universal experience. This is something that's happening to everyone. We haven't just singled out 3 cars. It's like there are 6 cars, and there are thousands more where that came from.
Right.
And to get a kid to think, if nothing else, and here's the main thing that I came into this today wanting to say, is that it gets a kid to think about the fact that everybody's got a story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Right? Like
yes,
everybody has a story. I think I said something similar to that earlier, touched on it, but like everybody has a story. Everybody has something to tell. Everybody has a reason why they are where they are. And that, I think it's called Sonder. Is that the word where it's like you can think about how you're driving down the street, but everybody in every other car that's driving down the street is also living their life and thinking their thoughts and having thoughts that you have nothing to do with or no idea about. And that kind of a concept.
It's called Sonder?
I think so. I'm going to look it up.
I don't know what that is. I used to... The only thing I can relate to about that is when I was a kid, I thought that I was the only... I thought we were the only car that was real.
Right.
Like, I didn't realize other
NPCs.
Is that what you're saying, though? That's what the word's talking about?
Yes. Sonder is the profound realization that every random stranger is living a life as vivid, complex, and central to them as yours is to you. Sonder. Wow. And I remember as a kid thinking those thoughts, thinking that person driving by, I have no idea where they're going. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something that they have the context for, that they know about, and I have no business in it. You know what I mean? I have nothing to contribute there.
Realizing that, yeah. But
it followed me through my life. It is both a comfort and sort of like a...
It used to make me sad. I used to be unable to look at other people in their cars when I was driving for when I was driving as an adult. Like it was weird. I went through a period of time where I could not look at strangers in their cars.
It made you sad?
It depressed me the fuck out. So bad. It was like, I think I would just get so lost in thought about their lives, and I would begin to, because I don't know if it's because I'm a writer. I'm sure everyone does that to some degree, but I think I would just start down a rabbit hole of what I thought their life was about. Like I would analyze their whole car, the clothes they're wearing, what their face looks like, their expression. Old people were the worst, because I would just think, oh my god. Oh my god, it would just destroy the rest of my day. Ruin
that idea. That idea of Sonder has always followed me in those ways where it's like there are just moments where I'm like, oh my god, holy shit, like that, like it just hits me really hard. And I think I think that's a common human thing, and we're only designed to hold and know so much information. So social media is complicating the concept of Sonder, like it is, because we're hearing people's inner thoughts and inner worlds in a way that most of civilization, human society did not do.
Yeah, and it's desensitizing us to a degree that probably never existed before.
Yeah, and on the other end of that spectrum, so I mentioned this earlier as well, but I grew up going to nursing homes pretty frequently because my grandparents were in poor health for various reasons, and one was couldn't walk or talk for like 14 years. My dad's dad, my papa, and was in a nursing home for a long time, and we'd go at least once a week, if not more frequently. My family, but my sister and I was 12, and we were frequently going to these nursing homes, and as we were first going, like the older ladies would like reach out to like talk to us or like talk about our hair, talk about like our clothes, to talk to us, to interact with us. And it scared me so much as a kid because I was like, I don't know you. Like, I don't have, why are you talking to me? And then over time, then it was a slower burn of a realization throughout my life, but it did dawn on me before I stopped going to those nursing homes that like, these people just want interaction and they have experienced their lives. Like they've experienced a full life and they have all of this context that's going nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it's going nowhere. They have relatives and love it. Hopefully we're all going to live on somehow. Right. But like just the idea that like they're living their days in a way that they don't have that kind of connection anymore. And that gutted me as a kid. Like that messed me up existentially as a kid because I was already looking toward the future of being in their position or, my parents being in their position. I was already there. Like I had already taken all those leaps to get to that place. And like everything in life, there is like profound beauty in it. There is like, depth to it to imagine or understand, like talking to people who are older, like generations that are dying out that have valuable skills, knowledge, information that we won't get back, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of that to think about. But then there's also the grief of it and knowing that you'll be there one day. And so it's both things wrapped together. The hearse and the limousine.
Oh yeah.
The Ouroboros of that all the time, on and on and on. And I don't know. My mind, like growing up, I talk about it specifically because I remember being 12 and thinking about that. I remember being 15 and thinking about that. I remember like it never really went away. The thinking about that, the wondering about their lives, the wondering about all of that. And like, how does it end up? Where do you end up? And like, who lives, who dies, who tells your story,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All of that has been very present in me from a very young age. And I think we're all better off for the Sonder of life.
Oh yeah.
I think the more you can do that, the more you can let that in, the more room you make for that, the better. Because you realize the world doesn't revolve around you. And also, again,
we're just little narcissists when we're kids.
Right. But like you can empathize. You learn to empathize. You build empathy by letting Sonder like into your life. That's how you build empathy. You're like, it's not, this old, I have nothing in common with this woman who's in her 80s or 90s, probably trying to talk to me as a 12-year-old kid. I have nothing in common with her, except that I'm going to be her one day. Maybe not in that exact situation, but because we all have that in common. So I guess I was really harsh about it at first, like as a kid. And I remember this is like hard to admit.
All kids are kind of afraid of old people.
Yeah.
Unless you're like
really close to them.
Really close to that one person, yeah.
I remember having thoughts, it feels bad to say out loud, but like being really a young kid and thinking like, I'm busy. Like I'm like on my way to this thing with my friends. Like I'm doing something else. And they got to do that already. They already had their turn. And I'm having my turn now. So why do I have to have a 10-minute conversation with this lady that like I don't know or whatever? And now I'm thinking about it like, obviously, like we all do, I'm thinking about it completely differently, as I age and change. And I'm trying to figure out how to talk to teenagers, in my life and kids that are around me. And like, how do you stay relevant? Do you stay relevant? And I think the best way to do that again is to build empathy, like just finding the bridges to connect those ideas. And my attitude about it as a kid was completely wrong as far as like, they got their turn and I don't need them to interfere with my life. No. We're all taking, if we're alive together on this planet at the same time, we're taking the same turn.
That's true. That's true.
Any moment could be the last one. So it's like our turn is the same. And so anybody that we have the same life experience as, even to the degree that we're just on the same planet at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying? That's something. I think it's important.
Yeah. No, as a kid, you just want to go play. You just want to get back to what you're doing. I still feel a degree of that as not a kid, and I'm not middle aged. I don't know where I'm at.
Pretty close. I think
I'm getting there. We're getting there.
Now.
I still feel that way just with all the pressures of society, you know, like having all these things you have to do. It's like, I don't have time for this. I got to get back to what I have to do.
Built, again, the conveyor belt is built for that. It's built to keep you moving, running. American culture, Western culture is built to keep you moving and running. And so you don't have time to rest, make art, resist the bigger picture. The bigger machine, all those ideas. I'm so glad you brought that up and mentioned that. There's actually a point I took out from the very first page of my notes about how when the appliances show up to the graveyard, it's almost like, why are these cars all singing about this all of a sudden? Like, other than the point of the scene getting to the end of the movie to convey the message, it's like, it's almost like they recognize the appliances are now here. Mm-hmm. And they are thinking, this is my final chance, my last chance to tell my life story to somebody in the hope that it last. Yeah, might last. I might be remembered in some, fashion. If I just quickly, briefly, right now, tell my story before I die. Yeah. And that's what those old people were doing to you in the nursing home. That's they're just trying to talk to you and latch on to you and connect with you in a way to just feel human, because when you live in a nursing home like that, or when you're at the end of your life, few people treat you as human. Yep. They treat you as... You're treated as less than, for sure. Yeah. It's just ageism. Oh, man. I'm suddenly nauseous.
Do you have a sinking sensation?
I got a sinking sensation.
And that's all I've got on the song.
And that's just the end?
That's the end.
Just dove off a cliff into existentialism.
That's pretty much it. And without this, again, Toaster's sacrifice at the end of the movie would not be the same if we didn't know these stakes. Toaster, a relatively young soul, willingly gives themselves up. To the cause of saving the others. I'm hazy on the movie. I haven't watched it in 3 years.
And
I'm
I don't
pretty sure that's what happens.
I don't plan on it. I remember it really, really hurt me. So
I just remember, it was a willful choice to be eaten by the crusher. I think to save the others. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so.
But that's why they're the brave little toaster. So, that is all I have.
Yep. I think this, it might surprise Darklings to see this pop up in our topics, because it has been a long time since we talked about it. But I also think this was a very important detour on the highway of life. It fits all the themes, and there were so many things that we didn't get to talk about. So,
this is an hour and a half, and that would have made our part 2
our
coverage
series. Yeah, we would have ended up in 3 parts.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because of this alone, which technically it is a 3rd part. So
we're probably removed enough now where I've done some recovering. Yeah. Hopefully our Darklings have done some recovering since we last talked about it. And there are plenty of Darklings that are new friends around here who are like, I just listened to Brave Little Toaster. Why are you doing this to me? But we're just gonna keep spiraling like we do into all of the existential dread, fear, adult references that we didn't catch, and everything in between here on That's Pretty Dark. If you want more of that, more of us in any form, you can find us on social media at That's Pretty Dark Podcast on Instagram, at That's Pretty Dark on TikTok. You can get into our DMs or send us an email at that'sprettydarkpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know how you're feeling about the show, how you're feeling about I was gonna say being worthless, and that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. About experiencing this worthlessness collectively. Let us know how you're feeling. Hopefully everybody's okay out there. Clearly I'm having a hard time. If you want to contribute to us continuing to make content like this, if you want to hear Christian's aforementioned barnyard animal voices.
The Brementown musicians. Yeah.
You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/TPD podcast. We appreciate all of our patrons. I think we have some patrons to thank. Probably quite a few. We've been remiss. We've been remiss. We have 3. Okay. 3 new patrons.
Yeah. We want to thank Linz M,
Cassidy H,
and Stormy B.
Thank you so much for being here, as well as all of our other incredible Patreon patrons. Yeah, and I like to remind people here, because I keep forgetting myself personally, but you can actually find us on YouTube now. You can see the podcast in video. We're over on YouTube. You can just search That's Pretty Dark or click it on our website, which is also updated. I did a little updating of our website, cleaning up some old links and stuff. We hadn't really taken a good look at it in a while, and since we have awesome new photos from our photo shoot, I figured now's a great time for that. So we've updated our website, so if you feel like checking that out, feel free. Links to merch, among other things. So
yeah, we do have merch.
We do.
I forget that all the time. We do have merch.
It exists. It's pretty basic, but it is out there. So if you feel like representing us in your daily life in any way,
basic,
you're
for
welcome
now.
to do that.
For now, we're working on it. Just like I'm
We
working on.
got some really close artist friends.
We do. And I'm working on getting a ghost story on the Patreon ASAP. It's recorded. I just have to edit it.
Nice.
So it should be out maybe by the time this episode comes out.
That's exciting.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Very exciting.
We'll see. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
a lot
yes.
happening in the Pretty Dark universe. We hope a lot of good things are happening in your individual universes that we're now going to go and ponder for the remainder of our evening. But thank you.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's the same thing as people driving by in their cars. It's the Darklings listening to this. I know each of you have your own individual worlds and lives, and we're just really glad that you let us be a part of it for a little while.
Yes.
And if Worthless was not your favorite song from Brave Little Toaster, you're in luck, because we did talk about most of the other songs in our Brave Little Toaster coverage if you haven't heard it. So it's a B movie. It's over there.
Ooh.
You can go
I
listen.
still think about that one.
I do too.
I still think about
With
that.
frequency.
Talk
And on
about
that note, you're never really alone, and you're not worthless. That's the
Hey,
moral of this
you guys
story,
are not
because
worthless.
every single one of those stories mattered, just like yours.
This is true. That's a
Make
good
sure
word.
yours is worth telling.
That's a good word.
On and on and on. You know?
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks
See
for
you
listening.
soon.
That's Pretty Dark Podcast is produced by Kaylin Andrews and me, Christian Baxter Mott.
With music by Jonathan Simmons and cover design by Halftone Horror.
You can support our show by supporting our sponsors, or go to patreon.com/TPD podcast to unlock all the Pretty Dark bonus content we have in store.
Please share your experiences and let us know what shows, films, or villains still haunt you from childhood on our socials or at that'sprettydarkpodcast@gmail.com.
For all other information, visit our website, that'sprettydark.com.
Remember, you're never really alone.
So, until next time, sweet dreams, everyone.